Hello everyone and welcome to a very special E3 edition of Sentuamesage.
Yeah, we're here on the show floor at E3 asking your questions to the people who know the best answers, the people who make the games.
So without further ado, let's get on with the questions. Okay, so our first question's been sent in by one of our users. He's a big fan of the series, called Edward Reaney, and he wants to know how this game fits into the series, the Assassin's Creed series.
Assassin's Creed follows the continuing story of Ezio Auditore da Firenze, so it happens right after the end of Assassin's Creed 2. Ezio goes back to his villa after the events of Assassin's Creed 2, takes a bit of a breather, and the Borgias counterattack on what his attack on the Vatican at the end of AC2. That will bring him to Rome, center of power and corruption, and he'll have to build a brotherhood in order to front the Borgias once and for all.
And as you were talking earlier about the characters, obviously that's a big part of the game and the appeal of the game. So can you talk about new characters that we can expect to see in the game?
What we tried to do is put in characters that are popular with Marvel Comics fans and Capcom fans. Here at E3 we've announced a few new characters like Dante and Deadpool, both very popular characters. We'll have more announcements about upcoming characters as we get closer to the launch date. The fans really wanted to see characters like these, and because they're completely new characters, we didn't have any basis for them before for the fighting game. We had to really work hard to get them just right so they fit, everything fit for them in this game.
Will there be a firefight mode or equivalent in Halo Reach?
Yes. Yeah, so we've got Firefight is coming back. If you played it in ODST, you know what that means. We've added matchmaking to it, so you don't need to worry about where your friends are. You can actually go in and find some randoms and play if you want to do that, if that's what you're into. We've got a whole slew of customization options that'll come in Firefight now. You can change skulls, you can change waves, play the enemies you want, set a time limit, change all the player traits, kind of like what you're used to in the Halo 3 multiplayer space and what you'll see in the Halo Reach multiplayer space, but it's really hard to get in and dig into all of the granular things that you can do. It's pretty mind-blowing when you go and start pulling up the menus and just look at how deeply you can customize the experience for yourself. So a lot of that's direct reaction from the foundation of Firefight from ODST, and a lot of that's just born out of Lars getting a whole lot of time with him and the team to just really crank away at Firefight and make it a sweet experience.
Great, okay. And another user question from Jamie Ashton. Is there going to be Forge in Reach?
Yeah, there will be Forge, but that's pretty much all we're saying at this point.
We had a question about actually from one of our users, DJ Doodle93 wants to know when the Case Zero will actually be releasing, and also whether it'll include co-op like the main game.
Yeah, the release date for Case Zero is, obviously tied in very closely with the release date for the actual game. So, but what I will tell you is that it will be available for download approximately about a month or so before the main game is released. As far as the question about cooperative play, really wanted that to be one of the features that was unique to the game itself. So, we've intentionally not included it in Case Zero so that you can get more of a feel of how the game plays. But I will obviously ensure you that it is part of the full experience in the packaged product.
And one of our users, Dan Howe, wrote in to ask if previous songs for the Rock Band games that include a keyboard part, if they will be tracked to incorporate that.
Well, it's something that a lot of people ask. Obviously, we have some really great songs for keys in the back catalog. Don't Stop Believin', Boston, like these great songs. It's something that we want to do. We're still working out the details, so we don't have anything to announce today, but we're on the case.
Okay, great. One of our users wrote in with a question for you. It was Sam Samad actually was asking how big the New Vegas world is in comparison with Fallout 3 and how long it will take to actually cross the game world.
I've never actually tried walking it. In terms of world space, we're almost exactly the same as Fallout 3. It's very, very big. We have roughly the same number of locations. We have more quests than Fallout 3 did, although we calculate our quests a little differently from Fallout 3. Fallout 3 would have a single quest that would be very long, whereas we have smaller quests that connect to each other. We're also about 40% more dialogue than Fallout 3. We're a lot wordier. We have a lot more branching paths. In terms of overall game size, it's roughly the same size.
I had a question from the user Foxy Chic, who wants to know how Fable 3 will use Kinect.
Well, that's a very good question, and I wish I was free to answer that question. I mean, I can't really absolutely confirm it. The only thing is, I love Connect. We're working on Connect stuff. I love Fable, and putting the two together makes kind of sense to me.
We've got a question from Pastici, who wants to know if you yourself are doing any voice acting in the game.
No. That's kind of, I don't know, that's a bit like, I don't know why that doesn't seem right, but it isn't right.
Nothing that ever appealed to you.
Well, I would be the village idiot or something if I was.
And finally, Giles Siege wants to know if Fable 3 will have something like the pub games that you did for Fable 2.
So, yeah, we have got a surprise before the launch. It's not the pub games, it's something else. It's something I think is really, really cool. Again, it's something we're keeping under wraps until closer to the date.
First up, Lammy DJ wants to know if you're going to be running a beta for the game.
We're considering it. We're not ready to announce or deny a beta. If we are going to announce one, you'll hear it from me first. I'm on Twitter. It's JD_2020, so you'll be able to find me there.
And I imagine we'll get a similar answer for this one from Hashi B. Is there going to be zombies or any kind of horde mode in the game?
We have co-op. It's a dedicated co-op mode. It's not campaign co-op, and it's going to have 4 players online or 2 players local split screen. But unfortunately, we can't disclose it just yet.
So that's it for this special E3 edition of Sentuamesage, but we'll be back next week with a regular show, so keep your questions coming in via the usual methods. We'll see you then.
Bye, everyone.